Hello, my name's Kenneth. I want to tell you what it was like growing up in Lyman, Wyoming, in the years between the Depression and the Second World War. Now, you might not think that that's important enough for me to be talking about nowadays when we are so torn up with.
Don't apologize.
Pardon me? But I'd like to know what happened in those years because these present years are so very.
Why are you apologizing?
Was I apologizing?
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
Well, say it.
I can't. Help me.
Do what you want to do. Bust loose.
Well, I'd like to.
Why don't you?
Well, there's this net that holds me.
I don't see any net.
Yes, there's a red net right here behind my eyes.
Ah,
It's a net of living membrane. What are you?
Nothing.
What are you covering?
Nothing.
Well, why are you here?
Oh, it's very deep.
What is? The water?
The nothing.
Why are you red?
It's the blood.
come over here. I've got something to show you.
I'm entangled in this net.
That's a poor excuse.
Where are you going? Wait. Who's that? Was that my father from the show house? Wallace Berry. Yes. He used to live with us. I mean, he used to appear in the picture house that I lived in. Yes, I lived in a motion picture theater. My father owned it. We lived in 3 little rooms that were tucked back in the back of the Gem Theater in Lyman, Wyoming. My mother, my father, and me. And Wallace Berry, and French Ontone, and Mickey Rooney, and... Wait, it's as far back as I can remember. Yes. Now I'm 3 years old, and my father, Alonzo, he's putting a photographic plate into his big black portrait camera. What are you doing, Daddy?
Well, I'm going to make a photograph of the two of us, Kenneth.
A photograph?
Yes. Don't you remember what a photograph is?
Yes, I remember.
Well, Daddy makes lots of photographs. Now you sit still so I can focus on you.
Okie dokie.
I'll be sitting here beside you, so don't you worry. Daddy's taking all kinds of photographs. He used to have a team of horses and a wagon. He would travel all the way from Lyman to Evanston to Woodruff and Randolph to Bear Lake, Laketown and Pickleville, all the way to Montpelier, just making photographs for folks along the way.
Did you go to Yellowstone Park where the bears live?
Of course I did.
Well, can we go there today?
Well, I don't think we'll make it today, but maybe by Friday we'll go.
Promise? Friday? Go to where the bears live?
Promise. As soon as we can, we'll go to the Bears town.
Will we see their houses?
Yes, and their stores.
Well, do they have show houses?
Yes, and they have their movie houses to go to, and they go out walking on Sunday with their parasols.
Well, do they have barber shops?
And a barber shop.
Oh, I want to go see the bears today.
You'll have to be patient until I get this photograph made. You see, we just look at this big black box, and now I'll get you to smile. And with my other hand here, I will press this magic secret bulb.
Well, let me see the magic bulb.
No, it's hidden. You can't see it.
Well, what's it do?
It will make the world blossom. See?
Oh, where are all the blossoms?
I'll never tell.
Why?
We have to do one thing at a time. Now, I'm packing away my portrait camera, putting everything in this box. I have so many things to attend to. My soda water bottling plants, my grocery store, my movie theater. You know, sometimes I want to drop them all and just the two of us go fishing.
When?
Well, someday, up on Smith's Fork or Black's Fork, we'll go way back where we've never been before.
And see the bears?
And see the bears. But there isn't much time today. Daddies aren't supposed to be so busy, are they, Kenneth?
Well, I'll go with you.
No, you'll have to stay here and take care of things. You see, fathers aren't supposed to die either. But Kenneth, one thing you must remember, businessmen,
What is a heart attack? Daddy, can I go with you?
you have to stay here and look after your mother in the show house and the store. And
Well, can I watch the shows?
yes,
Are you going to go see the bears?
yes, we will. Find my slippers, Kenneth. I've got to be up and doing things. I can't be lying in bed.
Well, what are slippers?
Slippers for my feet. They're made of carpet and have flowers on them.
Well, are we going to go now?
Yes, and those are the slippers. Oh my, I don't get any more time. Goodbye, Kenneth, and everything else I was going to say, but things went by too fast.
A cemetery in Lyman's on the edge of the sagebrush hill. My father's grave is made in hard, dry, rocky ground, cobblestones, ant hills, weeds. Those were the furnishings I remember. And back in town, his businesses, they were all made short work of by the financial wizards of Uinta County, Wyoming. Soda Water Works, the mercantile store, his portable electric power plant, all of these just drifted away. My mother did manage to hang on to the movie house, she and the bank. Gene Autry, Tom Mix, Will Rogers, they all lived there, along with RKO and Metro Golden Mayer, Pathé newsreels. Those were all my playmates. Franklin Delano Roosevelt forged out the remedies for the Great Depression in the Gem Theater. National Recovery Act, Works Projects Administration, all these happened in the house that I lived in. After my mother put me to bed, I'd slip quietly through the bedroom door and find my secret niche right alongside the screen. Boy, people sure look lopsided from this angle. Hey, that's Gene Autry. Boy, was he neat.
Hey, what's that kid doing up there?
Why, that's Kenny, isn't it? Louise, you better come get your kid off the stage.
Hey, Skinny, you trying to get into the movies?
Kenneth, get away from that screen and get to bed or I'll paddle your backside for sure.
Of course, my favorites were the dogs, Pluto and Rin Tin Tin. My own dog was named Jack. My father had given him to me before he left. We grew up together. Here, Jack. Come on, Jack. Ha, ha, ha. There you are, boy. Oh, you're a good dog. Why do clouds move across the sky, Jack?
Well, because they're not made to move up and down.
Well, why do they move at all?
Well, because they're not made to stand still.
Well, that's not a very good answer.
Well, if you want to hear good answers, you're going to have to learn how to ask better questions.
Ooh, I think you're being unfair. I'm asking the very best questions I know how to ask.
Well, try harder.
I'm gonna get angry at you.
Oh, look.
Look at what?
The clouds.
Well, what about them?
Well, do you see them?
Yes.
Well, there they are.
Yes.
Well, that's what you wanted to know, wasn't it? Are the clouds in the same place they were when we started talking about them?
No, I remember that one was over there.
Well, there you are.
Where?
I mean, that's your answer. The clouds moved.
Yes?
The clouds moved because we talked about them.
Oh?
Yes.
Tell me that part again.
Well, if we didn't talk about them, they wouldn't move.
Well, somehow I find that hard to believe.
Well, try it and see. Don't mention them. They won't move. Not a word now. Of course, you can talk about something else if you want to. Oh well, Of course, I was talking about them, wasn't I? So there you are.
No, I am here. The clouds moved. You talk nonsense.
Oh, yes. I wonder why I do that.
Well, sometimes I wonder why you talk at all.
I've thought about that. And I think it's because your Father in heaven likes us to talk to each other.
You think so?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, I'm glad your Father in heaven wants it to be that way.
One thing I don't understand is why I don't understand things as well as you do.
Oh?
Like why do I talk nonsense?
I don't know.
I think that your Father in heaven gives you more understanding than he does me because, to tell you the truth, there are things you do that I simply don't understand at all.
Like what?
Like when you ask me why the clouds moved. Do you suppose that Father in heaven gives you more understanding than he does me?
I guess so, Jack. Say, who is this Father in heaven you keep talking about?
I don't know. I mean, you and your grandmother are always talking about him.
Oh, that's her Father in heaven. I thought you meant mine. Is that High Pockets? I don't think so. High Pockets, what a nice name he had. High Pockets, he was a cowboy, and he lived on a ranch just outside of Lyman. He's called High Pockets because he was so tall. He was so tall, I had to reach up to wrap my hand around one of his fingers when we walked down the grass-lined paths that were there before the sidewalks in Lyman. Hi, High Pockets.
Hi, Kenny. How's your ma?
Oh, she's pretty well.
Well, that's real good to hear, little feller.
This is hard for me to say, but High Pockets, walking beside you along these grassy paths, I am truly in love with early summer in Wyoming.
Well, that's real good to hear, little feller.
In love with the sunshine and with you. Only I could never say it.
Well, you're a swell little feller.
Why are you a cowboy, High Pockets?
Just 'cause I am.
Well, my father, he was a businessman, but he died. He was a photographer, too.
Yep, I heard about that, little pal of mine.
You know something?
Sure do.
I wish he was a cowboy, as high up as you.
Home on the range.
I never heard so much silence.
Hello, play.
What do you keep in your pockets?
Nickels. Listen. You hear that? Been playing the slots down there at the Speedway, and
I never heard so many nickels.
you be a good little boy, and I'll give you some.
Okay.
And that's the truth.
Well, how do I do that? How do I be a good boy?
The antelope. It looks like we've run plumb out of path, and I think I'm going to stop here at the Speedway Inn and wet my whistle a bit. Be seeing ya, little pal o' mine.
Goodbye. Everything else I was going to say, but I was too slow, too fast. One of those. Speedway Inn was a pretty fast place. I knew it was too fast for me. I'd seen the slot machines and the whiskey bottles inside, and they were literally way over my head. There was this car that was parked out in front of the Speedway Inn, had this jazzy wheel cover. It said, "Voss you there, Charlie," written on it. I don't remember why. Guess I was pretty fast talk. I know we didn't say "Voss you there, Charlie" in school, and we didn't talk about the Speedway Inn. I don't remember what we did talk about, but I remember that girl in the second row. She wasn't very fast. She was pretty slow. You know who I am, Joanne?
Sure, you're funny.
Am I?
Yeah, you're the kid who got in hell with the teacher because you took your shoes off in school.
I didn't know you noticed that.
Sat in front of me in Miss Gross's class in the second grade.
Well, why do you remember that, Joanne?
I stole one of your crayons once because I didn't have any.
Well, did you ever have any?
Sure, Miss Gross gave me some.
Is it true you know how to talk in Italian?
Sure, we talk Italian at home all the time.
Well, I've never heard you say anything in Italian.
I don't want to.
I bet you can't.
I did once, but Billy Edwards rubbed my face in the dirt.
Is it true that your underpants are made out of flour sacks?
I'm not telling.
That's what Billy Edwards said. He said he took you down to the dirt and he saw them.
I don't care.
And George Condos, he said he put a mirror on his shoe and he stood by you and he says he saw them too.
That don't matter.
Well, I'm not as funny as you are.
Yes, you are.
Your whole family's funny. I mean, you can't talk like me. You can't even go to church. And what are you doing in my school? You don't even live in town. I've never even seen your house. Where do you live anyway?
We live way down across the creek, down by the Condesses.
Well, I've never seen their house either. Well, why don't any of you ever go to church?
Oh, we don't like the Condesses.
Why not?
They're Greeks.
You are really funny. I mean, your dad brings you and your brothers to school in that rundown old red truck, and the Condesses, they come right behind you in that old blue pickup, and you get in fights with them every recess time. And then after school, you all just pile into those two trucks, one red, the other blue, and you go all the way out of town across the creek, and you live out there, right next to each other.
Oh, you're funny.
Well, you're funnier than I am.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I remember you got sick and threw up on your desk one day, and you just had to sit there in the office and be sick until your dad came to get you in his truck after school and took you and your brothers home, and nobody out there knew what an appendicitis was. You died in the middle of the night out there next to the Condesses, who were Greek. Anyway, your mother made your underpants out of flour sacks. You never had to go far in Lyman to find mortality. Immortality, that was a little harder to find. My father's movie theater had most of the immortality that was to be had. They lived forever. Oh, I suppose there was a little immortality left over for the Lyman Ward and the Lyman Stake and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. At least that's where my dainty Mormon grandmother held forth on immortality when she was in town. Louisa Delaney Cheney Willis. She usually lived with her sons on their ranch in Lake Town, Utah, on the shore of Bear Lake. But she'd often come to spend some time with her daughter, my mother, in Lyman. And she did what she could to make me a better Mormon. For instance, this is a used jam jar.
Oh, don't throw that away, Kenneth.
Why not?
Oh, it's valuable.
For what?
Why, to eat, of course.
But it's all gone.
Oh, it's not completely empty. Look into it. Huh? There's some remnants in there.
Remnants?
Nutriment in there. Don't waste it. Here, fetch it here.
Well, what are you going to do?
Oh, you mustn't waste nutriments when other people are hungry.
But it's all dried out.
Have patience. Now fetch it here, I say. Now, hold it with this claw. Oh, no, not that way. Here, I'll do it. Just pour a little hot water into it. There now. Mix it around. And what do you have?
I don't know.
Well, drink it, silly.
Why do you call me silly?
Because you are. Here, drink it.
Do you still call me silly?
Drink your punch.
Punch?
Yes, it's delicious fruit punch. Don't you know anything? Drink it.
Okay.
Wasn't that good?
No!
Why, of course it was.
No, well, I didn't like it.
Oh, you try a person's patience so. Land's sakes, when we were children in Centerville, we would have been tickled to death to have so fine a treat as that.
Well, here, you can have the rest.
Very well. If you don't want it. No. It just needs some stirring up a bit. What did I do with my spoon?
I don't know.
Oh, why don't you, hey? Have you been playing with my wooden spoon again?
No.
Are you fibbing to me?
No.
I know when you're fibbing to me, Kenneth. There's a little birdie who will tell me if you don't. Now, have you been fibbing to me?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's better. Now, where's the wooden spoon?
It's up on the roof.
The roof? Land's sakes, what's it doing up on the roof?
Well, I'll go get it.
Oh, no, you don't. Now, you know your mother will paddle the both of us if you get up on that roof again.
Well, she can't paddle me.
Oh, yes, she can.
No, she paddles me with the spoon, and spoon's up on the roof.
Well, we'll just see about that. My little birdie will help us find it.
Then I'm gonna hide it even better.
What are you doing up here?
Who are you?
Who are you? I'm a sparrow. I live up here.
Oh, I bet you're that little bird that my grandmother's always telling me she's been talking to.
I don't know any grandmothers.
Well, if you don't stop telling on me, I'm gonna fix your wagon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, I know you. You're the bird that lives in the nest that's down in the hole in the roof over there.
That's right.
Oh, wow, being a bird's pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, it's not so bad. You have to be able to fly well and keep away from the cats.
Does old Jack bother you?
Oh, no, he's no trouble at all.
But he barks at you.
I've heard it said his bark is worse than his bite.
Well, he's got a pretty big mouth.
That's true, but we sparrows are pretty swift. We can keep away from dogs.
Well, old Jack, he wouldn't hurt you, though.
No, I'll never complain about your dog. But I could complain about the food around here. Why, you don't throw out enough to keep a bird alive.
Oh, that's Grandma. She doesn't like to waste things.
Somebody should speak to her. We'll starve.
I don't know how to speak to her.
Can't you try? Just a crust of bread can do wonders for my whole family.
Well, sometimes I don't eat my crusts. I'll see if I can sneak them out to you.
Oh, that would be appreciated.
No, I don't think Grandma will ever throw anything out, not as long as there are still starving children in China. You know, Grandma says a funny poem about you.
Oh, funny?
Yes, it's, "Oh, the north wind doth blow, and we shall have snow, and what will dear birdie do then, poor thing?"
That's very touching.
Well, I didn't used to understand it, but I think I do now.
I hope you both get a big bang out of it.
Well, I bet it does get very cold up here on the roof.
I manage quite well, thank you. I've lived in worse places. Actually, it's rather cozy in behind those loose boards when we get snuggled down in our little nests. And on a day like today, why, there's not a care in the world.
Except for the cats.
Ah, yes, the cats.
Oh, and Barney.
Who's Barney?
Oh, Barney Wilson. He caught some baby spugs in a nest up in a tree at Charlie Phillips' place.
Spugs? What are spugs?
Well, spugs, that's what you are.
Oh, no. I am an English sparrow.
We call you Spugs.
I don't care what you call us. We are English sparrows, a very distinguished line of birds. What did you say this Barney did?
Well, he caught some baby sparrows, and he wrung their necks, and then he cooked them in a coffee can over a bonfire.
Oh dear, oh
He
dear.
didn't eat them.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, and I didn't help him.
Oh goodness. Oh,
I just watched.
oh goodness me, goodness me.
Barney's a bad boy, isn't he?
Oh, what will we ever do? What will we ever do? Blood.
Well, fly away. You can just fly away. Fly away. Here, Jack. Here, boy. Come on, boy. Here, Jack. You're a good dog. Oh, Jack, don't you wish we could just fly away to heaven?
I don't know.
Well, what are we gonna do when we grow up?
Grow up?
Well, yeah, get big, have whiskers.
Oh, I am grown up.
Oh, well, what am I gonna do?
Until then?
Well, after then.
I guess I just can't figure that question out. Kenneth, I'm sorry. It's too complicated.
Well, it's all right. I won't ever go away and leave you. I'll never go away from Lyman. Well, I might go down to Salt Lake to a circus or to a fireman's school, but I won't be gone for more than a day or two.
Oh, that would be all right.
I really love you.
Oh, with me. Hug me.
Oh, I guess we love each other. Why do you think we have love?
Is that a question like, why do we have mumps?
I don't think so.
Well, I guess I have to give it to you. And that means I have to have it first. And you have to have it to give it to me. I think it's like mumps, only it feels better.
No, it's not the same. You just can't give it to everybody. It's like some people have already had the mumps. You can't give it to them.
Like maybe Grandma has already had the mumps.
Yeah, she says you're dirty.
Me?
Yeah, she says you're dirty and I shouldn't hug you because I'll catch disease germs in my mouth and I might die.
Die?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty hard to explain.
Did your daddy hug me?
I guess so. He hugged both of us. Well, maybe you shouldn't lie around in the dirt so much.
Oh, me?
Yeah, then you wouldn't be so dirty.
Oh, that feels good. Oh.
Yeah, your belly doesn't get as dirty as your back.
Oh, if you keep that up, I'll just die.
Well, that's all right, Jack. I can love you then, too.
Oh.
Kenneth, where's my wooden spoon?
What?
Kenneth, come here. Get up off the ground. Where is my wooden spoon?
What spoon?
Oh, you know very well what spoon. Mother told me you put it up on the roof.
Oh, she's a tattletale.
Well, did you?
I guess so.
What do you mean you guess so? Did you?
I guess I did.
Well, you'd better just guess it down.
I can't.
Well, you just better.
No, I gotta go sail boats with Charlie Phillips in the ditch.
Oh, you will not sail boats in that dirty ditch.
Well, then, what's there to do?
Do?
Yeah, there's nothing to do.
Do? Mildew.
That's not funny.
Well, you'll think funny if you don't get up on that roof and get me my spoon.
But you said I can't get on the roof.
Oh, you little Dickens. You get up there right now.
You said you'd paddle me with the spoon if I ever got up there again.
Well, I'll get a willow switch and switch your bottom if you don't.
Oh, nuts.
Do you want me to get a switch?
No.
Then are you going up there and get me that spoon?
Will you paddle me with it if I do?
I guess not.
Promise?
We'll have to see.
No, you gotta promise.
I'm going down to the ditch bank right now and get a willow switch. I promise you, young man, right on your backside.
No, don't go. I'll go.
Are you going to get me that spoon?
Yes.
Now you be careful. Don't kick any of the tar paper off.
I won't.
How do you get up there anyway?
I climb.
Now you be careful.
See, you put your foot in this crack in the wall,
Don't you kick that loose.
and then you hang on to the windowsill,
Oh, so that's how you do it.
and then you put your knees up here.
And that's how the roof gets all scuffed up. Look at the marks you're making. Oh, those awful shoes.
Help me.
What?
Well, give me a boost.
Well, you don't need a boost to get up there when I'm not here.
Well, it's easier when you're not looking at me.
Oh, you little scalawag. You better not do this anymore or I'll paddle you for sure.
Well, I'll get the spoon, but remember, you promised not to use it on me.
Oh, I've got better things to do than go chasing after you. Now give me that spoon and I'll wash it off. Lord knows what kind of disease germs it has on it.
She can't get me now. I'm up here on the roof. Whoa, from up here I can see all over town. I can see the water tower and Ray Blackburn's barber shop. Boy, he sure gives close haircuts. Hey, and there's Barney Wilson, his dog Happy, sitting in front of the Ideal Cafe. Happy's a big fluffy dog. Barney named him Happy because the day he got him, we were reading Dick and Jane in school, and Dick and Jane had this big fluffy dog named Happy. Happy's a pretty dog, but isn't as tough as Jack. No, one time some cowboys from Fort Bridger fed them both some whiskey, got them to fight right over there in front of the Mercantile. And neither of them won, but Jack could stand up better than Happy could afterwards. Barney hasn't liked me or Jack very much since then. Well, there's Charlie Pierce's blacksmith shop. Boy, Mr. Pierce, he is a very good blacksmith. He's shoeing horses now. I can smell the hot irons, the horses, smoke from the forge. Mr. Pierce, he tried to plant some grass on my father's grave, but it never grew. He even took some hunks of lawn from his own place and planted on my father's grave, but it just died there. And this is our yard. It goes way over there by the fence. It's a great place to play. Frank, he lives next door, and I play with him and his brothers, just so long as we don't get our overalls too dirty. And Frank's older than I am. He put me in a lettuce crate once and tied me to the top of the garage and told everybody I was an ape from the circus. And he tried to get people to pay to come see me, but I was scared. But I guess it was funny. And there's my father's ice house. It's here in the yard, cool in the summer, full of wet sawdust. And now the sawdust's drying out because nobody puts ice in it anymore. Well, someday somebody'll tear it down and let the sawdust go back up to the mountains where it came from.
You talk a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Well, what are you trying to say? Say it.
I can't.
Well, I'm back.
Where have you been, Grandma?
There is no doubt in my mind the Lyman chapter of the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers leave much to be desired when it comes to conducting a business meeting.
Oh?
Oh, it's true. All they do is gossip.
Well, why do they have their meetings, Grandma?
Well, now the way we conduct our business meeting in the Lake Town Ward, which is the way it's supposed to be done, we compile a history, a record for time and all eternity, a record of the saints.
Who are the saints, Grandma?
Oh, your great-grandparents are, Kenneth. They're the saints I'm talking about. Oh, they made this land prosper.
Oh, the saints in Lake Town must have been a lot better saints than the ones here in Lyman.
Well, I'm glad you said that, not me, but I do think that it's true, as much as I hate to say it. I never did see such a barren place. Such a silly lot of old gossips, either.
Well, what do they talk about?
Well, that's not for you to know.
Well, why isn't it for me to know?
Well, there are some things that you can know and other things that you cannot know.
Well, how do I know which is which?
I know.
Well, who told you?
Now, don't you get smart with me.
I'm not trying to.
My mother told me. Louisa Maria Austin Cheney.
Was she a saint?
Oh, she certainly was.
Is that why she had so many names?
Well, Louisa Maria was her given name. Austin was her maiden name. And Cheney was her married name.
Will my name get bigger if I get married?
No. Yours will remain the same. You have the priesthood, and you must always use your full name. Your middle name is Willis, and that is my married name, or you must always use it. And don't drop your middle name the way so many people do. I will be very angry if I ever learn that you are not using your full and proper name.
I will.
You must promise.
I promise.
And don't abbreviate it to the initial W, but use the whole name.
I promise to do that.
Oh, and there's another thing, Kenneth. You must not let the other children call you by any other name than your own. I've heard them do that.
Whoa.
Yes, I've heard them.
What do they call me?
They call you some terrible name. I don't remember what it is, but I do know it's a terrible one.
Was it Skinny?
Yes, I think that was it. Oh, that's a disgusting practice. The next time they call you that, you must refuse to answer. I certainly would refuse to answer. If any of my colleagues were to ever call me a nickname, you must not answer them. And then you must tell them what your given and Christian names are, and that if they wish you to answer, they must address you by those names.
But do they have to call me Willis?
Oh, it's quite all right for your playmates to call you by either of your given names. It's not necessary that they use both, but they must use one or the other. And these are the names that were given to you by your mother and father, and they're to be treated with respect. The Old Testament says, honor thy father and thy mother.
But what about when your father's dead?
Well, both my parents are dead, and I respect them with every deed I do. My mother gave me her name. She was one of the original pioneers. Did I ever tell you the story of her voyage on the good ship Brooklyn? Do you remember?
Sort of.
Well, tell it to me.
Well, I don't remember it that well.
Oh, Kenneth, you must remember it. Someday I will not be here to tell you, and you must remember it to tell your children and your grandchildren.
You mean for when you go home to Lake Town?
No, I mean when I go home to my parents, to my home on high, my home with my heavenly Father.
Oh, your heavenly Father.
Now, I'm going to tell it to you again, and I want you to remember it very carefully. Your great-grandmother came to America from England as a convert to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She arrived in New York City, and there a group of saints assembled to prepare for the trip to Zion.
To where?
To Zion, to Utah.
Is Zion in Utah?
Yes.
Like Salt Lake City's in Utah?
No, Utah is in Zion. Well, Utah is Zion.
Is Lyman in Zion?
Well, there are days when I honestly don't think so, but I guess it was supposed to be before they cut the corner out of Utah.
We're in Zion?
Yes. Now, many of the saints had traveled over the plains by oxen cart and hand cart. Oh, but that was a very arduous journey. Many of them died along the way. The company that my mother was in decided to travel a different way. Part of their journey would be by ship.
Well, Charlie Phillips says his grandma walked all the way.
Oh, she did no such thing, but never you mind. Your great-grandmother was a gifted horsewoman, and she rode over the Sierra, over the Nevada desert, and the Salt Flats, all the way into the valley of the Great Salt Lake.
I was in Salt Lake once. Yeah, Mom and me, we drove down there in the Chevy to sign up for movies, and I got lost. I couldn't find the hotel. I couldn't find the film place either. And I just remember it was awful hot. And I thought I was going to die.
Well, your great-grandmother didn't stay long in Salt Lake. Brigham Young was sending the newly arrived saints out to settle new communities. She moved to Centerville. She and my father were married, and that's where I was born.
I thought you were born in Lake Town.
No, Centerville. You don't remember anything I tell you. I get so out of patience with you.
Oh, I thought you said you were born in the front room in the big house in Lake Town.
No, that's where you were born, silly. But the house in Lake Town wasn't even thought of when I was born. We were in Centerville, and that's when the general authorities asked us to come up to the Bear Lake Valley to settle new land. Well, we traveled there by ox cart. I was a very young girl. We brought a few head of cattle with us over the Wasatch Mountains. Everything else we had was in the wagon with us. We made our first Bear Lake home in Paris, Idaho, and then moved to Swan Creek.
Where is Paris?
Well, Paris is at the north end of the lake. It used to be in Utah, but now it's in Idaho. My father moved from there to the south end of the lake, to Lake Town, because he thought there was better land to be had there.
Well, why were they farmers? Did they want to be farmers? My father, he was a photographer and a businessman.
Oh, Kenneth, I don't know why I waste my time trying to educate you. I might as well be talking to the post in my current patch. Don't be such a dunce. You make me so put out. I could just have a fit. All you do is play all summer long and gallivant all over the country with that mangy old dog of yours. And when you are gallivanting, you're just both lying about underfoot. A body doesn't even know where to put a foot down.
You mean old Jack?
Oh, you know perfectly well who I mean, Kenneth. You have got to keep that dog out of the house.
But I can't keep him out of the house. He lives here too.
Oh, not with me, he doesn't. He's dirty. He smells bad, and he's just always underfoot.
But he's my dog. I love him.
And you're just as lazy as he is. You make me so nervous, the two of you. Get up on your backsides and go do something. Now, I'm going to put my papers away, and I shan't tell you another thing about genealogy until you begin to mend your idle ways.
I know I'm lazy. I try not to be lazy, but I just keep on being lazy, damn it.
Hold on there. What did you say?
I keep right on being lazy, even though I don't want to.
After that, what did you say after that?
I try not to be.
Did you say, damn it?
Yes.
Kenneth, come here. Come here, come. You sit down beside me. Language was given to us by God. It's a tool by which we make ourselves understood to other people and through our prayers to God. Would you say damn it when you pray to God?
No.
Well, then why would you use it when you talk to me? My mother taught me that our language is a graceful and beautiful thing. It is the mirror of our minds, and it must reflect only clean and perfect thoughts. Do you want your mirror to reflect evil and ugly thoughts?
No.
That is what I hear and see when I hear that ugly word, Kenneth. And I don't like to think that your mind is evil and ugly.
Well, I don't either.
And I really don't think that it is.
No, it isn't.
So why do you use evil and ugly words?
I don't know.
Well, perhaps you learned that word from one of your playmates.
I guess so.
Which one of them uses that word?
I don't know.
Of course you do.
I don't remember.
Well, think hard.
I can't think.
Oh, I can.
Well, we'll let it be for now. But you must remember that in all the rest of your life, you will persevere in clean and noble thoughts. And your language will reflect that every day in every way. Now, what would you say to that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And when you get angry, oh, I know, you'll get angry. Little boys do that sometimes. Even grown men sometimes let their tempers get away from them. I know that. I don't expect you to be entirely perfect. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
When you get so vexed that you must say something, you can use a word that I will give you now, which you must not ever forget. Burn it into your memory as though your life depended on it. For indeed, your heavenly life does depend on it. The salvation of your immortal soul depends on it. Now, promise.
Yes.
Promise me.
I promise.
When you lose your temper, you must say, darn. That's all. That is the word that I'm giving you to use when you feel you simply must use profanity. Say it.
Darn?
Darn.
That's right.
Darn.
Can you remember that?
I don't know. It's such a funny word. Darn.
Well,
Darn.
say, darn it to heck anyway.
Darn it to heck.
Darn it to heck.
Yes. Oh, here's a way for you to remember it. Now, you've seen me mending your socks, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, when I'm using the light globe and I'm sewing over it to mend up the hole in the heel of your socks, that is called darning.
Darning?
Yes. Oh, and if your grandmother were to prick her finger with the needle while she was darning, oh, not just a little jab, but if she were to prick it badly enough to bring blood, she would say, oh, darn it.
Oh, like you're gonna fix your finger with the needle.
Yes, that's right. Now remember that. Oh, whenever you're vexed, remember your grandmother darning the heels of your socks. And when she pricks her finger to bring blood, what does she say?
Darn it.
There now. Oh, isn't that so much better than using that evil word you used before?
Yes.
And don't you feel better?
Oh, yes.
Well, so do I. You see, you are a good boy after all.
Yes.
That makes me very happy.
Well, will you tell me some more about your genealogy?
You want to hear some more?
Yes.
Well, oh, here's some Lake Town history. Have I told you about the time when Washakie came into the valley?
I don't know.
I think I have.
Well, tell me again.
Well, it was the spring of 1881. He brought his assembled tribes down from the Wind River Mountains in Wyoming to demand food from the saints.
Food?
Yes, food. Oh, goodness knows, we had little enough for ourselves. Each family was having to ration what little we had. And then here comes this warrior, Chief Washakie, with all of his braves to camp out on the lakeshore. I climbed up onto the hill behind the ward house in the evening, and I counted over 1,000 campfires along that shore. Oh, I tell you, we were plenty frightened.
Well, did they attack the settlement?
No, we prayed. Oh, and we fasted. While our men took Washakie all of the cattle we could spare. Some of our oxen, too, though heaven knows how any of them could ever manage to eat one of those old oxen. My father took one of our cows. God was with us. Washakie accepted the cattle, and the next day, the whole encampment of Indians had disappeared.
Woo! Wow!
And that wasn't the only time Heavenly Father saved our necks. You must have heard about the great cricket blight that attacked the saints in the Salt Lake Valley.
Oh, yes.
Well, our valley had its own cricket blight, too. It was the first year that we had a good crop. The crickets appeared in clouds thick enough to blot out the sun. We thought for certain they would take all of the crops. But lo and behold, a wind came out of the south and blew the whole flock of them into the lake.
Did the seagulls get them?
Oh, no, we had no seagulls. Heavenly Father sent a wind this time to save his saints, with crickets drowned in the lake. I myself went down to the shore the next day, and I saw where the waves had washed their bodies up into windrows that were fully a yard deep.
A yard thick?
At least.
Gee, you mean as thick as our yard?
Oh, you little Dickens.
Isn't that the yard you meant?
No, I mean a yard measurement.
Measurement?
A tape measure. 3 feet. 3 feet make a yard. Don't you know that?
I don't think so.
Oh, Kenneth, in heaven's name, what do you do in school all day? Look, this is a yard from the tip of my nose to the tip of my outstretched hand.
That's a yard?
Can't you understand anything? Here's my tape measure. This is a yard, 3 feet. Now, when I don't have my tape measure, I can always measure out a yard by putting the material up to my nose and see? Same as a yard.
Gee.
Haven't you ever seen your mother and me doing this with material when we were measuring for tablecloths or for curtains or something?
Oh, yes.
Well, what did you think we were doing, for heaven's sakes?
I didn't know.
Well, why didn't you ask?
I didn't know how to ask.
Oh, you are such a dunce.
I thought that was a very good point.
Well, tell me some more about the crickets in the lake.
Well, that's where Heavenly Father's wind blew them, into that big blue Bear Lake, and they drowned. The saints were saved again.
Hurrah!
Well, tell me about the part about the clouds again.
The clouds?
Well, yeah, when the crickets hid the clouds.
Oh, I said they made so great a cloud themselves that they obscured the sun.
Well, is that like the red clouds in sunset?
Not at all. Obscured means to blot out the sun.
I think the red clouds are pretty, though, don't you?
That's because they are Heavenly Father's promise to us.
His promise?
The red clouds are his promise that the world will soon end in fire.
And?
Yes, during these latter days. And all the righteous will be saved.
Fire?
Well, yes, just as when he used the waters of the lake to destroy the evil crowd of crickets, so our Heavenly Father once before cleansed the earth of its evil hordes, and only the righteous were saved, Noah and his family. Well, God promised Noah then that the next time the cleansing would be made with fire.
Oh.
Yes. And that is why, as a Latter-day Saint, I want to get all my papers in order. I want this legacy to be available to you as you're growing up, that you might prepare yourself for the heavenly life when all infirmities are made strong and all that is wrong will be made right. So, while this is on my mind, I think I'll do some more work on my genealogical papers. Perhaps someday you'll be able to help me, Kenneth.
Can I?
Oh, yes, yes. When you learn to write better. It's a painful fact, but you really must study your penmanship. I would be ashamed to claim ownership to those penmanship lessons of yours. When I was your age, Elder Widstow said that I had a perfect hand. And now it's still not too bad, even though I'm half crippled with rheumatism. I honestly don't know what you do in school all day.
Well, I just take off my shoes and I play with my toes. And I can count on my toes now.
Oh, you are such a little dunce. Well, just see if you can keep out from under my feet while I do a little work, all right? Oh, but don't you run out across the street with all those automobiles out there.
All right. Here, Jack. Here, boy. Come on, let's go. Watch out! Oh, get out of here, Jack. Go on. Get out of here.
Help me.
Oh, help.
Help me, Kenneth. Help. Oh, stop the blood.
Oh, it's her head. She's fallen and split open her temple.
Oh, no, don't die. No, Heavenly Father, please don't die.
Get me a washcloth for your grandmother's head. Hurry.
Please don't die. I'll do anything. Just don't die.
Oh, hurry up. Hurry up. Here, give that to me. How did she fall?
Well, she fell over Jack. She was carrying her papers and she couldn't see him and she just fell into the edge of the door.
Oh, that damn dog. I ought to beat the socks off the both of you.
I threw him out. He's gone. Oh, grandmother, you were right. My dog is awful. You want me to kill him? I will. I'll kill him. Just say what you want. I'll do it. Just get better. Don't scare me like this. I'm so ugly. So ugly.
Oh, now wait a minute.
Just don't die.
Just a damn minute. Do you want to know something? I'm glad I did it. Is that terrible enough? I'm glad I did it.
Oh, don't die. I'm so terrible. Don't die.
Well, I didn't really mean to do it, but I'm not sorry. I'm telling you, that little old lady has kicked me just one too many times. Yes, sir. You might think she's a frail little thing, but she's not. She's got those damned pointed shoes. Did you hear me? I said damned, double damned, devil pointed shoes, and they hurt like the very devil. Just let her kick you once and see how you feel.
Tell me what you want. I'll do it. Just get better.
And if I hear that story about the Indians one more time, I'm gonna bite her. I swear it.
We must be ashamed of ourselves, Jack. We have done a terrible thing. Jack, I heard something strange today.
Something strange? I'm not surprised.
Well, I heard that Grandma's not going to live with us anymore.
Oh, I don't think that's so strange.
Oh, she's going home to her ranch.
Her ranch?
Well, it's my uncle's ranch, but used to be hers and Grandpa's before Grandpa died.
A real ranch with sheep and pigs and chickens.
Yes.
Oh, that would be fun.
Well, I'll ask Grandma if I can bring you along next time I go visit her.
Well, never mind. I guess it wouldn't be so much fun after all.
Well, Grandma hardly ever gets out into the fields anymore, especially now.
Especially since I almost killed her. That's what you meant to say, isn't it?
No, it's not what I meant to say at all. Wait. Where are you going, Jack?
Never mind.
There you are. What are you doing out here in the yard?
Nothing.
You're too old a boy to be doing nothing. Oh, it's no longer any of my beeswax. I've decided that I can't do anything more with you, Kenneth. I'm just wasting my time here. I'm going to go home to Lake Town, take care of my own garden for a change. It needs me more than you do. You and that dog might just as well sit on your backsides and mildew.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
Oh, I know, you're a boy and your father's son.
What does that mean?
You have the devil in you, and you just might as well work it out. I thought I might be of some help to your poor mother, but I've done all I can do, and I've just got to be getting back to my own beeswax.
Real beeswax?
Oh, minding my P's and Q's, you little roughneck. Remember, your grandmother loves you. And be sure to go to Sunday school every Sunday and say your prayers at night.
I'll remember.
And try not to cause your mother too much grief. Oh, and don't spend all your time watching those horrible movies. Practice your penmanship and write me a letter, huh? You think you can do all that?
Well, I'll try.
Well, above all, work on your penmanship so that I can read the letter when I get it. And come up and see me once in a while.
I will try.
Well, goodbye, Kenneth.
Goodbye.
Remember, I love you.
What shall we play?
Well, what do you want to play?
No Bears Out tonight.
Oh, I don't want to play No Bears Out tonight. Let's play Kick the Can.
No, we need more kids to play Kick the Can. It's no fun with just two.
Why not?
Well, because you always win. You're
I'll
too
let
good.
you-
You're too old.
Now, I'll let you be the hider first.
Hey, Jimmy, want to play Kick the Can?
Huh?
Come here.
Hiya. Who's this?
This is Jimmy. He's new in our class. This is Frank. He lives next door to me.
Huh? Huh?
Want to play Kick the Can?
What's Kick the Can?
Didn't you ever play Kick the Can?
No.
Well, where did you come from?
From Lawrence, Kansas.
Where's that?
That way.
Well, what are you doing here?
Oh, my mom married Ern Bradshaw.
Ern Bradshaw? Did old Ern get married?
Yeah.
Come on, let's do something.
Well, let's play. What's it?
Well, what's it?
Well, whatever you said.
Oh, Kick the Can?
Yeah.
Okay, so you put the can here, and Frank counts to 100.
I count to 20.
Oh, nuts.
20.
Okay, he counts to 20 and we go hide. And then he comes looking for us. And when he tags us, we have to stay in the circle with the can until the other person can sneak in and kick the can out of the circle. Then we're all free and we hide again and he counts to 100.
20.
Understand?
I guess so.
Well, let's play.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. Ready or not, you shall be caught.
Here, over here.
What?
Come here, save me.
Okay.
No, kick the can so I can run free.
Oh,
Oh, why do you run so funny? That isn't fair.
what?
Get in here.
Why do you run so funny? I can't catch you.
Oh, what's he talking about?
You gotta let us hide again, Frank. No fair talking to Jimmy.
Well, he's got to play fair too.
Come on, count to 20 again.
Okay, well, okay. Okay, 1920. Ready or not, you shall be caught. Oh!
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's happening?
Tell him to stop it. I never saw anything so funny in my life.
What do you mean?
Well, look.
How do you do that?
What?
Well, run the way you do.
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean?
Let's see your legs.
Oh, help!
Hey, hold still. I want to look at your legs.
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
He's got bold legs.
What?
Look, he's got bold legs.
Well, sure.
Well, what's that?
Look.
No, and don't.
Now hold him. Sit on him. You've got to promise us to show us your legs.
Ouch! Oh! All right.
Come on.
I promise. See?
They're bent.
That's bold legs.
Well, how'd that happen?
And what happened?
How'd they get bent? Did a horse fall on you?
No, just the way they are.
Well, do they hurt?
Well, sometimes.
I never saw anything like that before.
Hey, let's go back to the game.
Okay, Frank's still it.
No.
All right, I'll be it.
No. I'm filthy playing with you two in the dirt. I've got to go get cleaned up.
Okay.
Let's play something else.
What?
Well, I don't know. You got any ideas?
We can mildew.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. That's what my mother always tells me to do when I don't know what to do. I think it's a joke.
I can imitate a monkey pretty good. You want to see me?
I like you. I really do. You really make me laugh. I almost slipped and said I loved you, but I really didn't say it. But you went and died anyway. Damn it. Why did you go and die? You just went out there and got your head caught between your stepfather's truck and the corner of the porch one day when your family was moving. And you moved all right over to the mortuary just down the street. I didn't see you.
I did.
I wasn't home. I'd gone down to the creek with Jack to chase frogs.
Well, I saw his hair all bloody just over the top of the blanket.
You didn't see your legs.
Nope.
Just your hair, all ablaze. And on you ran, the bow-legged runner that we couldn't catch because we laughed so hard. Mom, why do they call it Decoration Day?
Because that's the day we go decorate the graves.
Well, do we have to?
Well, I don't know who will if we don't.
I don't want to go out there.
No, you don't have to. You can stay here if you want to.
Well, no, I don't want to stay alone.
It'll be all right. You can go with me and stay in the car. And then we'll go out this afternoon to the Roop Hotel and have a chicken dinner.
No, I don't want to do that.
What do you want to do, Mildew?
Where do people go when they die?
Well, they go to heaven.
Is that where my father went?
I suppose so.
Well, don't you know?
Oh, no. I wish you'd stop asking so many questions.
Where is heaven?
Oh, I can't fix these flowers and talk at the same time. Now, just sit there until we're ready to go.
Where will I go?
Don't ask so many questions.
Okay. I'll just sit up here and talk so you can't hear me. And talk about my father and heaven. You know what I'm going to do? When we get to the cemetery and you're crying and trying to prop up those lilacs in those horrible old metal baskets that are stuck down into the dry ground and propped up with rocks, well, I'm going to steal one of my father's flowers. He won't mind. And I'm going to sneak it over to Jimmy's grave. And when nobody's looking, I'm going to put that flower right on his grave. Shove it between the boards and that old picket fence they got there and put it on his grave. And I'll tell him, I really liked him. I really did. And I hope he likes my father's flower. Then in the evening, those cold springtime evenings when the sky throbs because it's gotten lost going through Wyoming, I'll go over to the Speedway Inn, see if Charlie Phillips can get away from washing dishes long enough to trade me some of his Superman comics.
Well, I'm stuck here, Kenneth. There's not a chance. Gosh, so busy.
Why?
Well, it's a holiday.
A holiday?
Well, it's Decoration Day, silly.
Kenneth,
What?
Hey, somebody's calling you.
Where?
I'm over here in the booth.
Oh, hello.
Is your name Kenneth?
Yes?
You knew my little Jimmy.
Well, not very much.
Well, a little bird told me that today you did something very nice for my little boy.
Oh. Oh, well, I want to tell you that I didn't do it. He didn't die. He didn't go to heaven. What would Jesus want with him anyway? Because he's just a dumb, ugly kid. So am I, but I can't tell you that, but I want to.
Thank you for doing that. And excuse me for crying. Oh.
You shouldn't cry in a cafe. Nobody should cry in a cafe. What would Jesus want with anybody who cry in a cafe or standing out in front of the gym theater? Nobody. Nobody. I knew I shouldn't have given you that flower.
Kenneth, hey, Kenneth,
Here I am. What shall we do?
where have you been?
Well, I was playing with boats down the ditch. Why?
Did you hear about Jack?
Did I?
Well, did you?
What?
Do you know that something happened to him?
No.
He got shot.
Shot?
Yep.
Well, how'd he get shot?
Barney Wilson's father shot him.
With a gun?
Sure.
Well, where is he?
Well, I don't know. Your mother was looking for you, though.
Mom, where is he? Mom!
Oh, Kenny, I've been looking all over for you.
I was sailing boats down in the ditch with Charlie Phillips.
Something's happened to Jack, honey.
Well, where is he?
I don't think you should touch him.
Oh, is he dead?
No, but I'm afraid he's hurt real bad.
Well, why can't I touch him?
Well, he hurts real bad, and if you touch him, he might bite you.
Where is he?
Well, promise me that you won't touch him.
I promise.
He crawled in under the Chevy. He came up on the porch and cried. I could see something was wrong. I tried to look at him, but then he went under the car. I got that old blanket from the back of the car and tried to put it down for him, and the darn thing almost bit me.
Where was he hit?
Gosh, I don't know. It looks like it must have gone right through the middle of him. I took him some water, but he wouldn't touch it. He really vexes me. I can't think who would do a thing like that.
Well, Barney Wilson is over at the post office now. He says that his dad shot Jack because he was chasing his cows.
Oh, that darn rascal. Why did he do that? Jack was a good dog. Darn his hide. Kenneth, you better get away from there.
He just looks at me and cries. What can we do?
Well, there's nothing we can do, honey.
Well, can't we take him to a doctor?
We can't do that.
Why not?
Well, doctors don't take care of dogs.
Why not?
Doctors take care of people, not dogs.
Why?
Now, listen, getting upset won't help old Jack now. We've just got to wait and see what happens.
Okay. Guess I'll just go into the show house.
Oh, that's a good boy. Just don't get so carried away with things. I'll watch old Jack for you.
Okay. Nobody can see or hear me in here. Father in heaven, I'm sure that what happened is your will, but I don't want him to die. Please, don't take him away from me. He's my dog. We love each other. He didn't do anything wrong. Are you punishing me because I didn't go to Sunday school? Well, I promise. I won't ask for a bike for Christmas if you just let him get better. I don't know how to pray. I'm sorry. I'll go to Sunday school. I'll learn how to pray if you'll not make him die. I don't know anything religious to say. Wait, I know. This is the only church song I know. It's for Jack. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Get better, Jack.
Come here, Kenneth.
How's Jack?
Oh, I'm afraid old Jack is gone.
Where?
He died during the night.
No!
Oh, don't touch him. Don't bother him now, honey.
No, why did he die?
It's all right, dear.
I don't want him to die, no!
Oh, it can't be helped, dear.
I want him back! I want him back!
Oh, well, you can't have him back.
I want him back!
There are just some things we can't control.
No, I love you, Jack. I don't want you to go.
Oh, there.
Kill me! Kill me!
No, you listen to me, young man.
I want him back!
You can't carry on like this. What will Frank think of you? Don't cry so much.
Oh, I love you, Jack. I don't want you to go.
Shh, it'll be all right. Now come here. Look at me. Old Jack had a good life.
But he's gone.
He was a good playmate, and it was his time, that's all. Now, here's Frank. You don't want to have him see you like this. Keep a stiff upper lip now.
Hello, Kenneth. Jack, he died last night.
I know.
Well, where are you going to bury him?
I don't know. At the cemetery?
Oh, no, we can't do that, Kenneth.
Where?
Well, if you want to, you can use the hole we were digging for our new outhouse.
Do you think your father will let you do that?
Me and my big brother, we'll dig a new one.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it, Kenneth? That'd be right out here in the yard.
I don't want to.
Oh, but we've got to, darling. Shall we let Frank do it for us? Would you do that, Frank?
Sure.
There's that old blanket that I put down for him. You can wrap him up in that. That will be nice.
Okay. Hey, do you want to see my clothespin gun? Kenneth, here. It shoots beans.
Beans?
Sure. You want to see it? It's made out of a clothespin.
How?
It shoots like this.
Gee.
You can play with it if you want to while we're burying Jack. Maybe I'll make you one when we're through, if your mother has any extra clothespins that she'll let you have.
Well, thanks. I'll ask her. Stick 'em up. I never did like Barney's dog Happy much after that. Maybe it's 'cause he looked so darn happy. I even went so far as to throw an axe at him one time when he went moseying through our yard. But I didn't hit him.
Hey, big fella, what you doing?
Watching ants?
You're pretty big, ain't you? You remember me?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm Cal Higgins from Fort Bridger. I knew your dad.
Did you?
Yep, I used to run into him out on Smith's Fork River, catching trout as long as his arm. He was a damn fine fisherman, your dad.
Was he?
Yep. Hey, little feller, I was real sorry to hear about your dog. Old Jack was a good dog. I never did think much about that Wilson bunch. Well, me and some of the boys was thinking, we ought to do something to set things right for you. Say, you know something?
What?
You and me ought to go out on Smith's Fork and catch us some of those big fish while there's still some left. How about that?
Well, that would be fun.
Some Sunday, yes, sir, we'll do that. Well, you tell your ma I was by. So long, little feller.
Well, so long.
Hey, did you hear what happened?
What?
Come on up on your roof. I'll show you.
Well, what if Mom comes back?
Oh, come on. This is important.
Is that Happy?
Yep.
What happened to him?
Throat cut. Right on the steps of the post office.
Oh, I never saw so much blood. It's all over the sidewalk.
And Barney is kneeling down right in the middle of it. Can you see him?
Yes.
Oh, I'll bet he's crying.
Come on. We better get down. Mom might come.
Boy, I wonder who did that. I bet they get the sheriff after them. They must have done it last night. Caught him and cut his throat right on the steps of the post office. Ah.
Yeah, the sheriff wouldn't have to look very hard to find lots of mortality in Lyman.
Kenneth, come here.
Wait a minute. I want to understand something.
I'm so tired.
You'd think that the Second World War would have made Lyman famous. The Lyman Battalion.
Don't say that.
If they'd only been fighting dogs.
Oh, that's not funny.
Every time I went near the Speedway Inn, I'd hear, "There's a star-spangled banner waving somewhere," playing in the jukebox. Please don't judge my courage by my twisted leg, but the war twisted Lyman's leg real good.
I want to talk to you.
The war crippled Lyman, not by killing its young men in combat, but by showing all of its talent that there was more money in bigger places than they'd ever seen written on the dust of the back of the Greyhound bus. The boy who wanted to be a cartoonist who'd written "Fuss You There, Charlie" on the wheel cover of his car. He went to work for Lockheed Aircraft, and we who stayed in Lyman had a very lopsided view of the war.
Oh, the war, the war. America will win the war. We have more important things than that to worry about.
For instance, I found a vague significance in the fact that the valiant little British stronghold of Singapore fell to the Japanese on my grandmother's birthday.
Oh, the Japanese, yes. Did you know there's a family of Japanese who live out on the UP Railroad near Carter? I'll bet they'll have to move away from the railroad.
But all this sudden shifting of boundaries, that didn't frighten me. I felt secure knowing that my mother and I would always have a home in Lyman, tucked back under the wing of the Gem Theater.
This old town, this darned old town, it finally beat us, Kennan.
Shared with the sparrows, snuggled down safe in our wee little nest.
Will you stop talking to yourself and listen to me for a minute?
Yes.
It's time for us to leave Lyman now, Kenneth.
Leave? Why?
The bank owns the theater.
The bank?
Yes.
Well, why? Did they buy it?
No, they took it.
Well, can they do that?
So we'll just take what we have left and go. They finally won.
One?
Everything your father had.
One?
It'll be such a job packing. I don't know where to start. What shall we take? What shall we leave behind?
Well, where are we gonna go?
I'll take you up to Lake Town and you can stay with your Aunt Norma. I'll go down to Ogden and find a job. I hear they're hiring women laborers now down in the defense plants. Maybe we'll live in Ogden. What would you think of that?
I can't leave Lyman.
Well, there's nothing left for us to do here in Lyman.
Do? Mildew.
That's not funny.
Finally.
They finally beat us. And just when things were starting to look up, we've got the theater all remodeled, new carpets, 2 new projectors. That's what did it, Kenneth. I never should have tried to improve the place until I was sure I could pay for it. Well, I could have if that darned rascal hadn't opened up the theater in Mountain View and made it so neither of us could make a living. Well, the first thing I do, I'm going to take all the papers in my desk and all the letters that say, Dear Mr. Motion Picture Exhibitor, and throw them all in the trash can.
But don't you see, I can't leave.
Oh, the one thing I feel bad about is your father. I hate to leave him out here alone. Oh, yes, I heard the city council is going to plant the whole cemetery in grass and get water in there so it won't look so bad anymore. What do you think of that? About time, huh? Oh, but I still feel bad about leaving.
What do I think? I think that every year the grass grows, my grandmother's garden gets smaller. Oh, it's good to see you again, Grandma.
Oh, goodness! How you've grown. How big you are now.
I don't know. You've gotten smaller.
What did you say? Oh, I can't hear as well as I used to. But I'm thankful for one thing. I can still take care of myself. Grateful to the Lord for that. Would you like some peas?
No.
Do you know what I heard, Kenneth? A little birdie has told me that you are smoking cigarettes. Is that true?
I don't know. Who told you that?
Just a little bird.
Well, what was that little poem you used to say about the north wind doth blow and we shall have snow, and what will dear birdie do then, poor thing?
Now, don't change the subject. Don't you know that the word of wisdom was given to us to protect our minds and bodies? And if we break it, we're breaking God's law. We do detriment to our own bodies when we do.
Yes.
Don't you believe in the word of wisdom?
Yes.
Well, that's why I'm still able to take care of myself, and I'm 94 years old, by observing the word of wisdom. And the dietary rules set down for us in the Old Testament, too. Your mother used to laugh at me for not eating pork, but the Lord said you should not partake of the animal with the cloven hoof, and the pig has a cloven hoof. You've noticed that, haven't you?
No.
Well, the next time you're feeding the pigs, take a good look. The cloven hoof is the hoof of the devil, and the pig is the beast of the devil. Your mother made fun of me for not eating lard, but now look at who has the stomach trouble. It's your mother and not me.
It's her nerves.
Eh?
We're losing the theater. She can't pay the bank fast enough.
Well, good riddance to bad rubbish. Obey the word of wisdom. If you don't take good care of your body, it's your sin, and it will be on your own head.
Oh, it's hard to know when to look at you, when to remember you, There was so much time for us together. I like the way you dress. You're such a pretty woman.
That's all I have for supper. Just a little bit of peas in a pan. No butter. Hardly enough to keep a bird alive, your mother says. What do you think, eh?
I can't tell you what I think.
Oh, why don't you go pick some currants? There are some red currants ripe on that little bush out there by the crabapple tree. Here, take this saucepan.
Grandma, I'm not 10 years old.
What did you say?
I don't want any currants.
Well, maybe I'll want some before I go to bed.
There aren't any currants out there.
Well, very well. I'll pick them.
The bushes have been walked on. The cows have eaten most of them.
If we don't pick them, the cows will certainly have them for breakfast. Now, where is my wrap? Do you see it?
No. Sit down. I'll pick them. Here, give me the pan. No! I don't have to. You don't need any currants.
If you would fix the fence like I asked you to, then we wouldn't have to worry, for the cows would not get in.
Oh, there isn't time. It's too late. Berry bushes are gone. They're too old. Crabapple tree is dying. I hate to come out here. It used to be so pretty. But if I don't, you'll put on your old shawl and you'll come out here and fuss about the cows and about wasting nutriments, and you'll stumble around and fall down and prick your fingers and say, darn it. For all that, you'll get maybe 5 or 6 little red currants for your breakfast. I guess you're about as tough as my old shot-in-the-guts dog, Jack. Oh, where are you, Jack? Yeah, I used to play in this crabapple tree, way up here. Yeah, it's still nice. I can almost see the lake. Yeah, my grandfather planted this tree. Oh, come on up, Grandpa. Come on.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Well, come on, let's get drunk.
Oh, can't do that.
Well, why not?
Against the word of wisdom.
Oh, you too?
Well, every word of it. Look at the hills.
What?
I said, look at the hills. That's where you should be, up there in the hills, getting out logs, not fiddling around down here. What are you doing with that saucepan? Are you a girl?
No.
You look like one. Who are you?
I'm your grandson, Kenneth.
Oh, no, you're not.
Well, yes, I am.
Well, I never heard of you.
Well, I've heard of you.
You look like a girl to me.
Well, I'm not.
Well, what are you doing down here in the flatlands when you should be up in the hills getting out logs?
Well, I don't know how to get out logs.
Did you ever work in a mine?
No, but you did.
How did you know?
Well, she told me.
Who do you mean she?
My grandmother.
Who is your grandmother?
Well, that woman in there, your wife.
Oh, she talks too much.
I'll agree with you there.
She's your grandmother?
Yes.
Yes, I used to work in the mines in Park City, Lark, Eureka, but that was before I became a dirt farmer. That woman in there is your grandmother?
That's right.
That's probably why you look like a girl. And that woman in there is why I'm down here on the flatlands instead of up there in the hills where I belong. I had a dandy place up there, the big spring, lovely spot, nestled right back into the hills, deer and elk in my pasture, great big trout in my spring. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand why I left?
No, sir.
Oh, that little woman in there, that skinny little redhead that I married.
Oh, was her hair red? I've only seen it white.
We moved away from that lovely spring up there in the hills, out here to these flatlands, because she wanted to be near the Ward House and near her mother, damn the luck.
Did you say damn? Did she let you say damn?
Not in the house. But when I'm out in my world, I'll say anything I want, and she can say naught about it.
You're right about that.
You're damn right I am. When I was getting out stone for the Logan Temple, some of the brethren said I ought not to do so much cussing, as we were getting out stone for the house of the Lord. But J. Golden Kimball, he stood up for me. He said I was a very hard worker and a marvelous swearer.
Well, why didn't Grandma tell me more about you?
Well, you don't find me rattling on about her, do you? You're a strange lad. You know, the first house I built here was just to the west of this tree. Made it from logs that I got down from the hills. Nothing left there now. Worked hard here. Stock died one winter. It got so cold. I had to go back to work in the mines to get another start with the farming, and that's when I was leaded.
Leaded?
Lead poisoning from the mines. Don't you know anything? You ought to be up there learning, getting out logs, handling a team, hear the horses strain, smell the torn earth, see the mud steam right there, see the horse's breath.
Well, I've been in the hills. I've heard the elk whistle.
That's a pretty sound.
Wait, where are you going?
You'd better come in now, Kenneth.
Why?
They'll be bringing your grandmother's casket in soon. Don't you want to be here? I'm so tired. She was sick such a long time. Strong woman. Here, I've got some tea. Your uncles want you to prepare a history for her funeral. I found her papers. Study them over. There's so much there. You won't be able to use most of it. Maybe you can find enough for a brief history, just a short speech. Do you think you can do it?
Yes.
I've got to go see if things are ready in the parlor. It looks so strange with that awful metal stand set up for her in her own parlor.
Well, finish your tea. Blood. Where did you go, Jack? Oh, such clear penmanship. My dainty Mormon grandmother. Wonder if she left these here for me to use now. So self-sufficient. Louise Delina Cheney Willis. Born February 16th, 1863. Such penmanship. Ah, it's too late. What did you want me to do? Whatever I did was not good enough. What am I supposed to do now? Here's the porch where she stood like a saint on the prow of the good ship Brooklyn, holding on against the cows and the weeds. What do you expect me? I cannot walk on waters, Grandma. I cannot. Oh, I did give up smoking. Better late than never, huh? I'm trying to write now. I'm not writing about genealogy, but it's not too bad. I don't think it'd offend you too much. After all, I am only human.
That's a damn poor excuse.
Wait, what are you doing? Leave that alone.
Are you telling me how to run my picture theater?
Your picture show theater?
Yes, mine. What were you in there yelling about?
Yelling? Well, that's the way I am. Look at me.
Yes.
Well, how can you stand it?
I can stand it.
How?
You're my son. You look fine.
Your son?
Don't you remember?
No, you went away.
Just here.
Oh, you went so far away.
No, not as far away as you.
Is this where you've been?
Yes, let's take a look around. A few things here I want to show you.
This is where you've been all the time.
That's right. Nice, ain't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I stumbled on it one day when I was out fishing. I hiked away from the main part of the Smith's Fork, and I climbed over that rise, and I found this spot. I just figured there must be some water up this way because of the way the land was lying. You want to see what I found?
Oh, yes.
Come here. Go easy now. Let's just get on top of this rock now. Look down over this little stream. Do you see them?
Whoa, so many fish.
Did you ever see so many fat trout, Kenneth? And it's so small a stream.
Well, Jesus said he'd make us fishers of men.
Well, that's a funny thing to say.
It's hard for me to say anything right. I don't know how. I'm afraid. Wait, where are you going?
Now, you can help if you want. Clean that knife.
This meadow reminds me of a place that I went with my mother once. We were on a picnic, just her and me. And there were these big boulders around, like that one over there. And I had this bright little orange car, and I lost it that day. And I thought I'd left it on one of the tops of one of the boulders, but now they all looked alike, and I kept finding patches of lichen because they were orange, like my car. But I never found my car. I always hoped that my mother and I would come back and find it, even years later.
You talk a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Well, what are you trying to say?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Say it. It's all right. I understand. Here, sit down.
Ooh, the flowers. Ha ha! Every time I come down, I touch the meadow flowers.
Yes, I know.
Still have your portrait camera?
Still do a little work. Portraits of the meadows in August. Always flowers.
And the magic bulb?
Yes.
Still hidden?
Still hidden.
Still makes the world blossom?
Just look around you. Why can't you tell me that you love me? You know, I love you.
Because I do love you. I really do.
Well, higher.
I love you.
Higher.
I won't hide from you anymore.
Higher.
I'll never hide again.
Higher!
I promise.
Higher!